Hi, my name is Joanie Eisinger. Welcome to my channel. Please go to jonieswhitelighthealing.com for more information about me. I am a psychic, a medium, a healer, and a spiritual counselor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please see the disclaimer on my website as well as on this description of the YouTube video. I am located in North Central New Jersey. I offer in-person sessions as well as Skype, Facebook video, FaceTime, and now Zoom. Phone is also equally effective. So please contact me through my website if you are interested in a reading and a healing. So I wanted to do a session regarding combating the shoulds, the musts, the oughtas. We are spiritual beings in human bodies having a very challenging, beautiful experience here. Yes, already I might have lost some people regarding beautiful. Folks, we love it here. We love cramming our spirits into a physical vessel and being challenged when a veil is put over us for soul growth opportunity. Many of us are spiritual warriors that come from different places around creation to assist humanity awaken. And others of us come here and return because there's more work to be done. Oftentimes people return due to karma. Some people say that we are being recycled on a prison planet, an AI simulation. Whatever the case, we are here and we are shifting to a better, more expansive and exciting new earth. I would like to discuss these shoulds, these oughtas, these musts. I do sessions with people, and oftentimes people are riddled with pressure and guilt and regret, or they're having difficulty advancing, moving forward, completing projects. Why? Because they are making statements to self. I must, I should, I ought to. And I'm a New Yorker, so I'm saying oughta. I ought to do this. And then regarding the regret and the shame and the guilt and all that, I should have. Why didn't I? If only I could have. So whichever the case, there is a script that is being stated regarding the future or in reference to the past about a must, a have to, a should. Why would we do this? Well, this comes from the belief that there are mistakes made here, that there are wrong decisions that are made here, and there are right decisions, correct moves and plays. That is a fallacy. Everything is divinely ordered and everything is perfect in its imperfection. Everything is perfect, and we have things that do go awry. So I'm kind of twisting you around. It's kind of that Taoism that's thrown in there. And one needs to consider that what comes before us at every moment in our incarnation is for us to make free will choices. And based on our choices, like a flow chart, determines which avenue we go down. If we are making choices that are not for our highest good, we might find ourselves in a sticky situation with outcomes that are not to our liking. Does that mean that we made mistakes in our choices? Does that mean that the outcome is bad and broken and then we are as well? I do not believe so. I believe that this is a playground and that we make choices for soul growth opportunity. So it's not the outcome, and that is not a reflection on us. It is the process within which we are working. That is where we grow as a soul. We love it like this. To add a little bit of background, I've shared this in previous videos, and I never mind sharing this again, is that before we come into an incarnation, we have a pre-birth planning session. And in a pre-birth planning session, we put some obstacles on our path on that incarnation's timeline that is for soul growth opportunity. Now, that might sound zany to you, and that's okay. You don't have to agree, you don't have to like it, whatever it is, you could turn me off, it's totally fine. So I believe that we are plopping down on the timeline a few obstacles, some a few, some many. Every individual soul is different with respect to how much we pre-birth plan. That means there's a real high probability that it will occur after we are born and when we get up to that point on our timeline in our lifespan. Now, can we change pre-birth plans? Sure we can. And also we have free will choice. So after we incarnate, the veil is put over us and we don't remember, and we proceed and we make choices. And we also, so that's the free will there. That's the wiggle room. Am I going to go left or right? Am I going to say yes or no? Am I going to stop or go, etc.? So getting back to this musta, shoulda, have to, oughta. When the veil is put over us, we forget that this is a learning playground and there are no report cards, and that we are our biggest, baddest challenger. And that when we return home upon our passing, there is no report card as well. There is complete acceptance and love. So if you are aware that you don't have to put a report card on yourself and there isn't a report card placed on you, there's no leveling up on the other side. You're the only one that might be leveling up against other. Here, you can stop whenever you want to. You can shift your perception whenever you want to. To replace a shoulda, musta, have to, oughta, let's do some forgiveness work if you have karma and it's extremely difficult for you to rid yourself of this pressure you're putting on self, and where you believe that you make mistakes and you are less than, or your decisions are poor, and you keep repeating saying that I have to do this, I must do this, I should do this, I ought to do this. So let's do that first. Across time and space, forwards and backwards, across all generations, any karma incurred in this lifetime or elsewhere, where you concluded, I have to do this, I should do this, I must do that, where you stated that to others as doctrine, as dogma, where you had unforgiveness towards self and other, where others might have told you, you must, you should, you ought to, you have to. And we ball them all up and you say inside, I forgive myself. Beautiful blanket. And I see hope. And that's wonderful. A lot of you had lost hope. Forgive everyone and everything. A lot of motion, a lot of energy here. Ask for everyone and everything's forgiveness. Please, all of you, forgive me. I had unforgiveness towards you. That's just the icing on the cake, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with the way that I lead a forgiveness exercise. You've released the karma in forgiving self and other. And now this piece that I just had you state inside is the extra. It affords other souls the opportunity to forgive you. They might not, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful thing to suggest to them. Last step, thank God for these life lessons. God not being separate from, but we all are included in that oneness, that love, that I am. Now sip water between now and when you go to sleep. It'll help flush negative energies through the physical body. Now I'm going to go further here. That was the karmic forgiveness work regarding musts, shoulds, have tos, ought tos. Let's talk about past, present, future. The present is where our power is. Being in the now is where we are the strongest and the most stable. The future is for visioning, manifesting, creating without putting pressure on it. When we believe that it's possible, we think about it, talk about it, and even take steps towards it. and then include it. And if it is for my highest good, may it be, and let it go without pushing the river. We let it flow with no expectation on outcome. That's what we do with the future. Doesn't mean that we are these surfer dudes that don't plan. We can plan. We need to, while we're in a human body, we need to be on a timeline with setting an alarm if we have to, being somewhere at a certain time, having our day set if it is that type of a lifestyle. Now, the past is where people get caught up. That's where people oftentimes say, I should have, I could have, I had to have, why didn't I? Why didn't I? Hindsight's 2020, folks. So we learn from reviewing the past, but the past is not to then add that layer of regret, shame, guilt, embarrassment, humiliation, pity, and then pressure moving forward. The past is to learn from. I believe in forgiveness always. I believe in acceptance. And I believe that the past is simply to ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? It is beautiful, the past. It could be excruciatingly painful. And when we are done feeling our feelings about it, accepting what has occurred, forgiving self and other, then we are ready to ask, what can I learn from it? Without a report card. And if you find yourself slipping into, I should have, why didn't I? And then self-flagellation, I suggest you stop. No one is forcing you to do this to yourself, but you. Beating yourself up about decisions made in the past is moot. It serves nothing. It doesn't help you get out of a rut, out of a painful situation that you have experienced. So you ask yourself, what can I learn from this? If you're not used to doing that, do it when you're quiet. Do it in a meditative state. Do it when there's stillness and no outside commotion, and get right into it and sit there with it and ask yourself that question. Food for the fodder, food for moving forward. Now, if you have a person in your life or people in your life or a group or institution that is putting pressure on you with musts and shoulds and have-tos and ought-tos, then this is, again, your soul growth opportunity. There is no one answer to this. Every person's story is different. This, again, is when you've walked a mile in my shoes. I don't know your story. So you might be in a situation, it could be lifelong, where you're constantly told that you must and you have to. Work with it, work with what you've got. I always say, try and make lemonade out of lemons. Maybe the musts and the shoulds aren't painful. I am talking about the musts, shoulds, the have-tos that are like prickles, barbs, thorns in your side. Princess and the Pea, you just can't get away from it. That piece in between your teeth where you got to floss that out because it's bothering you. Okay, so if you are incarnated and you have other that is imposing must, should, ought, have to, acceptance is key, and then discerning, is this something that I can move myself from? Can I shift this? Is it possible for me to not do what is being demanded of me? Is this the doctrine that this person is imposing, yet it doesn't fit with my lifestyle and I need to alter it, cut it, distance? Or is this something that you possibly pre-birth planned, or it's a temporary contract where you need to work within the confines of this until you can leave? Whatever the case, you ask yourself in that moment, if it's happening now, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? Also, if you find that you are doing this to yourself now and it isn't related to something from the past, and you're constantly saying, I have to do this, I should do this, I ought to do this. Stop yourself when you're in that gerbil wheel. Get in the moment of now and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And see what comes up. Open yourself up to channel. You've got your higher self that knows more. You have your spirit guides, departed ones, elementals, consciousnesses, star beings, angels, archangels, ascended masters that are working with you. I do suggest that if you open up your channel, that you put white light protection around yourself, make the space within which you are meditating sacred, and only call upon the highest of Christ's light, the enlightened ones. I'm going to see if there's anything more that I need to cover regarding the musta, shoulda, hafta, oughtas. Do the best you can. Do not put pressure on yourself. It seems a lot of people that are putting those restrictions on self with a report card. I must do this, maybe even or else. I have to do this. That pressure, confines, prison with a report card attached if they don't live up to their own expectation. I find that they have difficulty allowing, permitting, and unfolding. So see whether you could consider that things are divinely ordered, and that this is a massive, collective, creative experience, and we're all connected as one. So your thoughts and your actions affect me, and mine do you, and as do all creatures great and small, seen and unseen. So if you can fall back in that palm and rest and allow and watch the unfoldment, be in the gray area, rest a bit, and know that all is well, no matter what the outcome is, even if it's ugly and bitter. It's for soul growth opportunity. You might find that your world, your reality changes before you and improves. Your vibration will go up, your mental health and your physical health could improve, and those around you could start easing up as you start easing up as well. You might find that if you are in a tense way regarding the musta, hafta, shouldas, that others are in your reality mirroring your unhealed parts of self. So I'm going to leave it right there. If you like this video, please press like. And if you haven't subscribed, press the bell all icon and comment below. And I am open to other videos of your choosing if they are relevant to this channel. Share if you are so moved, and I will see you again. Bye, y'all.